Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see, what do I want to say? We're live at Saudi Daisy ahead of our game of the week. It's do or die.
Channel 3 has learned that a new
medication because he recently ran out. He was arrested at his home after his uncle.
Is this from Marion County?
No, actually, I had not intended to wear this today, but she sent.
Testing with the microphone.
Mic check, Casey.
1, 2, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I was like, David hadn't been back here. A lot early. Crap, it's on the wrong side.
Coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3.
I do too. It's not really the wrong.
New details about what led to a school bus crashing into a ditch while 47 students were on board. Senator Corker versus President Trump. How the recent social media battles have an impact on how Tennesseans feel about both men.
With coverage you can count on. This is Channel. With coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News, live at 5.
New details about what led to a school bus crashing into a ditch while 47 students were on board. Senator Corker versus President Trump. How the recent social media battles have an impact on how Tennesseans feel about both men.
With coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News, live at 5.
Good afternoon. Thank you for choosing Channel 3 for your news. I'm David Carroll.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. Tonight, we've learned the Grundy County Sheriff has served a subpoena on the Grundy County Director of Schools, requesting a report of any hazing or abuse over the last 5 years.
This comes after 5 football players were charged with attempted aggravated rape. Just 1 week ago, Channel 3 requested those same documents. Casey Freeman is in the studio live to explain what happens next. Casey?
David, Cindy, the school system has 30 days to respond to the subpoena. The subpoena requested records from the Grundy County School Central Office regarding hazing, abuse, and sexual abuse over the past 5 years in the school system. 4 juniors and 1 senior at Grundy County High School are accused of trying to rape a freshman with a mop handle earlier this month. Channel 3 has learned that a new juvenile judge, Tim Brock from Coffee County, has been selected to preside over the case. The court date of November 15th is still a possibility. Attorneys will have a conference call with Judge Brock next week to discuss the case further. We'll continue to update this story on air and inside our app. Live in the studio, Casey Freeman, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
New tonight, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says they found the body of a man involved in a police chase from earlier this week. Michael Huffman was found today near the area where he was last seen on Monday after the chase. His body will be examined to figure out exactly what the cause of death was.
6 students are out of the hospital 1 day after a Dade County school bus crashed into a ditch.
We want to show you video from the scene yesterday. This is near New Home and Brow Roads. Now, the bus was carrying 47 students from Davis Elementary School on the Georgia side of Sand Mountain. Channel 3's Cameron Taylor joins us now to explain what led to this crash. Cameron?
David, it started with 2 students misbehaving. The superintendent says the driver pulled over on the side of the road and parked the bus. Moments later, that bus started moving on its own. Tire tracks are all that's left in the Dade County bus crash. Superintendent Dr. Jan Harris says the driver was talking with 2 students who acted out when the bus started rolling.
He turned around and came back, running up to the front of the bus. And at that point, the bus went into the ditch.
All of the students and the driver made it out safely. 6 were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. Others had bumps and bruises. The superintendent was there with other school officials, comforting the students and alerting parents. They waited until the last student was released from the hospital before heading home. 2 are now on crutches.
We wanted to be there too. That's our family, our school family, and it was very important for us to be there and encourage our students and comfort them.
Harris wants to know how the vehicle started rolling, even though it was parked. She says the bus driver followed all procedures and maintenance records were up to date. The first-year driver for the school system had never been involved in a crash either. The bus has been towed away, and it'll now be up to state officials to inspect it next week. They'll find out if a mechanical issue is to blame. For now, the bus is out of service.
That's the most important thing, is making sure that all of our equipment is as it should be.
And Dr. Harris says some school buses have bus monitors, but this one did not. She believes there needs to be more bus monitors. Live in the studio, Cameron Taylor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Cameron, thank you. This is the second incident involving school buses in Dade County during the past 6 months. 7 students and 2 drivers had to be treated after a chain reaction crash involving 3 buses in May. Police cited one of those bus drivers. The superintendent tells us all but one of the buses are now back in service. The other is still at the district transportation yard as an extra bus.
New details reveal lit cigarettes are blamed for an apartment fire that left several families without a place to stay. Investigators say cigarettes were most likely not put out correctly at the arbors at Signal Mountain. 7 Chattanooga fire companies responded and contained the fire mainly to 3 units. Several other units had some smoke and water damage. The worst of the fire was out in about 15 minutes, and everyone got out safely.
We have learned the bike rider who was hit by a vehicle in Georgia has died. Johnny Lee Louder was on his bike traveling on Old Dixie Highway when he was hit. That accident is being investigated by the State Department of Public Safety. Also, new details about the man accused of firing shots at vehicles on I-75 during rush hour traffic yesterday. Matthew Henry was arrested in connection to that shooting. Reports show he told police he suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Kate Smith joins us live from the area of that shooting. Kate, what have you learned about his past?
David, police tell me that Matthew Henry served 2 tours in Afghanistan. While being arrested, he told police that he was off his medication for PTSD because he recently ran out. He was arrested at his home after his uncle picked him up following the shootings. He was first spotted on that overpass, allegedly shooting at passing vehicles. As you can see, it's a very congested area and had the potential to be very serious. Thankfully, nobody was injured and no cars were damaged. And tonight, coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, you're going to hear from an expert about PTSD and what to do if you or your family suffers from it. But for now, I'm live in Ottawa. Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Kate, thank you. It's Friday. We all want to know about the weekend, and last time we checked in with Paul, it didn't look very good.
Now, I asked him about tomorrow morning, and he pretty much said, don't get your hopes up, David. What'd you mean by that, Paul?
It meant it's going to get wet.
Yeah.
Very wet. There's a lot of rain out there just to the west of us now, and you can see where this cold front is, too. We're at 72, Atlanta 73, Nashville 63, then it's in the 50s and 40s behind this front. So the front's already into Tennessee, and it's going to be heading our way. It's going to be a slow process. Right now we're 3 degrees warmer than we were yesterday at this time, but it's 10 degrees cooler in Nashville. And look at St. Louis, 32 degrees cooler than it was yesterday at this time. All right, here's Nashville. A little bit of rain out in the western suburbs there. We're clear as far as the rain goes, but the rain on the other side of Interstate 65, mainly out over West Tennessee after midnight, I think, when we're going to see our showers. Latest forecast, again, this is 10 o'clock tonight. A few sprinkles possible at 10. And then coming up into the overnight, this is around 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when the heavier rain is going to start to push our way. And then it's going to be moving east of us. By 5 o'clock, it's out of here. By 9 o'clock, it's really out of here, but the cold air is diving down right across the valley. Sunday, just some leftover clouds, and then some clearing into Sunday night and right into Monday morning, too. Total amounts of rain out of this, I still think about 3/4 of an inch will be on average the amounts, but some places could see up to an inch. A few places maybe a little bit less, but pretty much about 3/4 to an inch of rain. The 7-day forecast is coming up in just a bit.
All right, Paul, thank you. Officials are reminding drivers to pay attention while behind the wheel. 2 Chattanooga Fire Department fire trucks have been hit by drivers in the past 5 days. The first crash was on Sunday on Discovery Drive. A car slammed into the back of a fire truck. The second was yesterday. Another car ran into a fire truck on North Germantown Road. In both cases, the trucks were stationary and had their emergency lights on, but the drivers still hit them.
Ahead of our game of the week, it's do or die for the Trojans and Mustangs tonight. I'll have a preview right after the break. Yes, ma'am. It's up.
Today is the last Friday of the regular high school football season. Some teams are still fighting for a chance to get into the playoffs.
For instance, the teams involved in our game of the week. Our sports reporter Jill Jelnick is live in Soddy Daisy, where the Trojans are getting ready to host the Mustangs of Walker Valley. Hello, Jill.
Hey, David. Hey, Cindy. It's all on the line tonight for our game of the week. Walker Valley and Soddy Daisy are fighting over that 4th and final playoff spot in Region 4 5A. And, well, it's as simple as this. Winner moves on to the postseason next week, while the loser turns in their pads on Monday. Now, both of these teams have yet to win a conference game this season. And, well, it's one of those things where tonight's game is a tiebreaker for the postseason next week. The Mustangs and the Trojans are known for their high-powered offenses, each averaging over 30 points a game. And, well, it's that reason that both of these teams expected their seasons to go much better than they have. Walker Valley and Soddy Daisy have struggled when it comes to finishing games, resulting in a couple close losses this year. And now the rest of their season comes down to this final game.
I think the guys that we got out here realized that, hey, it's now or never, you know, kind of thing. And if they want to go on and make the playoffs, then, you know, they've got to put it all together this week.
We do feel like we should be already have things locked up, but, you know, that's our own fault. We didn't take care of business when we needed to. And so we've had a good week so far. You know, they've been pretty focused on what to do and a lot of excitement. They understand what's at stake.
Coming up later at 5:30, we'll hear from Mustangs star quarterback Colton Gibson. He leads the Chattanooga area in yards passing with over 3,000 so far this season. Hear why he believes Walker Valley has yet to play their best game. But for now, live at Soddy Daisy High School, Jill Jelnick, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports.
All right, Jill, thank you. Has the recent Twitter battle between the president and Senator Corker changed the way you feel about the former Chattanooga mayor? Some say yes. Results from a new statewide poll are next.
And later, how firefighters have taken a serious topic and put a little fun twist on that topic for local students.
Well, the rain's already over West Tennessee and it's going to be moving our way later tonight, but looks like Friday night football is going to be okay. I'll tell you about some really cold temperatures heading our way. That's all coming up.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News traffic sponsored by CHI Memorial, ranked #1 in the Chattanooga area by U.S. News. We thank our staff, physicians, and volunteers for their service to our patients and community.
Hope you're having a great Friday. A couple accidents to watch out for. One on northbound 27. It's going to be there at the ramp to Signal Mountain Road. And crews are working to clear an earlier one southbound 75 around the 2-mile marker just before you get to the 24 split. It is off on the shoulder. Watch for congestion in the area. Speaking of 24, I-24 eastbound heavy traffic trying to get through the downtown area this afternoon. From downtown to that 75 split, commute time right now is about 12 to 14 minutes. From the US 101 Information Center, it's Mo with your Eyewitness News traffic.
Thank you, Mo. Have a good weekend. A new poll shows that the recent Twitter battle between President Trump and Senator Bob Corker may have cost them both some popularity. The poll's conducted by Middle Tennessee State University. It shows that disapproval of Senator Corker is up to 41% among Tennessee voters, but disapproval of President Trump went up as well, almost matching that of Corker at 40% during the same period.
Some encouraging numbers about fire deaths. Statistics show fewer children are dying in fires compared to 10 years ago.
And the U.S. Fire Administration says more children now know what to do if they're in a fire and how to even prevent a fire. Our Michelle Herron shows us how firefighters make this topic entertaining for Allen Elementary students.
Firefighters have taken a serious topic and one that can be scary for kids, and they've put a little bit of a fun twist on it, and it's all to help educate them if they are ever in the event of a fire. It's all part of Fire Prevention Month. Fire departments across the nation are doing different things, all to help educate the public. Now, here at Allen Elementary, students got to learn the importance of having a fire plan with their families at home. They also talked about stop, drop, and roll, probably something we all remember from elementary school, but also to remember to stay low if they're ever in a fire and not to hide from firefighters because they're there to help the kids.
Kids like to interact with the program. With my past experience in education, I always made my program or my course study that I taught very interesting. I got more respect and more out of my program than when I would just stand at the chalkboard and, just bore them to death.
See how they're sweeping?
Firefighters showed the kids what they do when they're in a home or a building looking for people so that they know what to look out for. They also showed them how their face masks work and what they sound like, because that can be really scary as well. And they also got to look at a fire detector up close and to remind their parents to change those batteries. And so that's something you might also want to do. If you would like more information about fire prevention and how you can create a plan with your family, just visit our website, WRCBTV.com. Reporting in Soddy Daisy, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Michelle, and good job to Mike Brumlow and the other firefighters getting out there. As he said, he used to be a teacher, so he knows how to get their attention and keep it. I love that.
See them. They were paying attention.
Well, Paul Barris is standing by in our Storm Alert Center. He says if you enjoyed today, too bad, it's not going to last.
Yeah, you're going to need that helmet to keep the water off you. I love the fireman's helmets. I always thought that was the coolest thing. All right, looking at the weekend jet stream, no big changes, a big dip over the eastern half of the country. Below normal temperatures coming up our way over the weekend. Then it'll start to come back up. The clouds already starting to roll into the Tennessee Valley and our Holiday Inn downtown cam. And looking at our radar, we got showers all the way from the Great Lakes down to about the Gulf of Mexico. This whole line is going to be moving our way. It's pretty heavy right now over West Tennessee, western part of Kentucky, all the way down into Mississippi, and that's going to be pushing our way. Currently, though, it's really pleasant. 72 right now, 72 in Cleveland and Dalton, 70 in Dayton and Athens, and all the way to Murphy, 69. Winds out of the south at 14. We've had gusts to at least 25 miles an hour so far for today, and that was no surprise. We expected that ahead of the front. 73 and 44, the high and the low. And for the sky watchers, they came in with some really pleasant temperatures, with 73 from Chatsworth and Dalton, 72 Vinell and Calhoun, also in Lafayette, 74 in Scottsboro, and looks like 73 in Red Bank and North Chattanooga and Trenton, with 72 in Ottawa, 73 Soddy Daisy, Cleveland, 67 up on Lookout Mountain, that's pretty nice, and then 72 Pikeville, and Dayton also in the 10 mile, 73 in Etowah, while Murphy at 69 and 67 in Colmont, 71 in Jasper. You can't beat that. Here's that cold front moving our way. By 7 o'clock in the morning, it'll be already past us, but the rain will still be lingering behind it. So the morning looks wet. It's as simple as that. We're going to get rain coming in after midnight, more than likely around 3 or 4 in the morning, and then throughout the first half of the day, and then tapering off from west to east. It'll end earlier out in the Cumberland Plateau and later into the Blue Ridge Mountains. But by 5 o'clock, it should be past Chattanooga, and then pushing off rapidly off towards the north and east. A real big storm is going to be forming off the coast of Florida, and that's going to be moving off towards the north and east too. Then we're going to have some leftover clouds through Sunday, off and on, and then some more clouds off to the north on Monday, but we should be in the warm sector on this one. So we'll start to warm up. A big area of cloudiness Monday evening just to the north of us, a little frontal system still sitting close to us. So by Tuesday morning, which is Halloween, I think it'll be okay. We may get some rain, though, later on in the week. Right now, again, I'm taking on average about 3/4 of an inch of rain coming up. Tonight, though, the clouds will be increasing, but don't expect that rain until late tonight with 51 for the low. And temperature is going to be at about 62 tomorrow at midnight or so. and they'll be dropping throughout the day. By this time tomorrow, should be in the 40s or close to it. And the rain will continue and then fade out with northwesterly winds at 10 to 15. It's going to be breezy and cold, so I don't expect any frost for tomorrow night, and northwesterly winds at 10 to 15. And let's go straight to the forecast here, the 7-day forecast. We got temperatures again, there we go, up to about 62 again for tomorrow, and then falling. 52 on Sunday with 36 for the overnight low, 61 and 33 on Monday. So that means Monday morning there will be frost. If you don't protect the tender vegetation Monday morning, it may be gone. Tuesday, Halloween, 66, and isolated showers maybe Wednesday, Thursday, better chance by next Friday. So it doesn't stay cold for a long time, but it is going to get cold and breezy and wet tomorrow.
And certainly an opportunity to talk again about fireplace safety, heater safety. A lot of folks are going to be cranking them up the next couple of days.
Well, thank you. Okay. Still ahead here on Live at 5, hand washing issues cause some problems for local restaurants.
After the break, the highs and the lows in our restaurant report card. New tonight, dirty prep areas and dirty hand towels led to a failing score for a Chinese restaurant. Here's John Martin.
In North Georgia, we have no failures to report, but we do have one restaurant in Hamilton County that got a big boo on their score right before Halloween. The China Gourmet on Browns Ferry Road came in with a 64. Remember, a 69 or below is considered a failing grade. It requires a follow-up inspection within 10 days. The inspector says the reasons include numerous non-food surfaces were dirty throughout the kitchen and prep areas. Wet, soiled wiping cloths were on working surfaces. Some food was not properly covered or protected, but the big one, employees were using shared towels to dry their hands. Plus, there were clean dishes stored on dirty surfaces. Now, we do have a lot of perfect scores to share this week. Congratulations to Lake Winnipesaukee for a sweep of 100s, along with the Northgate Chuck E. Cheese. You can see the full list of scores on our website. And remember, if you have a complaint about a restaurant, pool, daycare, or gym, call your local health department. And as always, enjoy your meal.
Thank you, John. Most of us are familiar with food allergies in children, but many allergies don't appear until adulthood. A new study reveals Nearly half of people with food allergies develop them after the age of 17. In fact, more than 1/3 of seafood allergies don't appear until adulthood. Experts say many adults don't get tested when they have symptoms because they assume all food allergies begin in childhood. Still ahead, after police helped check a 4-year-old girl's new home for monsters, she wanted to pay them back.
Hey, the coast was clear, and we'll let you know how she rewarded those monster busters next.
Morning on Eyewitness News today.
It goes beyond a social media.
A Colorado girl is giving back to help a police officer who's battling cancer.
The 4-year-old first got to know the officers after one of them checked out her family's new home for monsters. It was her request. Now, the girl and an officer did a thorough sweep of the house and the yard just to make sure there were no monsters. Later, she learned that one of the officers in the department is very ill, battling pancreatic cancer. She wanted to do something, so she donated the money from her piggy bank to the police department's upcoming fundraiser